Hey, what up? It's Teacher. This is segment 3 of how to mix a home recording, the effects in two-bus compression and ghetto mastering. Last session we were doing using Sonar X1, but the audio was saved as groove clips, and I guess that has issues with Sonar X1, or the fact that it was made by a different program. So I had to import the audio into Samplitude, which doesn't support groove clipping, so it wasn't an issue. Alright, with that though, I did use some different plugins, so I'm just going to go over them real quick. On the kick, I used the 1176 from the UAD. Instead of the Sonar X1 76, I pushed all 4 of the ratio buttons in. I think that's called the British mode. Set the release in between 3 and 4 and the attack in between 3 and 2, and set input and output to taste. Then I also used the API 560 because I was trying to make it a fatter kick. When listening to the reference, the kick was kind of in your face, so I wanted to copy that. So I boosted up the 500, 250, and 125 bands about around 2 decibel, 3 decibels. And then I used the PSP mix treble. This adds, a little bit of high end so we could cut through on cheap speakers. I selected the drums 1 preset, and then I set the mix ratio to 33%, so it's not fully on the sound, but just 33% of it. On the snare, I used the URS 1980 compressor. I set the attack to 4, release to 10. I also used the snare preset input level to 8.4 so we can react, so the compression could react to it. Negative 8.3 on the compression threshold and 4.51 on the ratio. And another thing I used, which I didn't use on the Sonar mix, is Wave C6. This I put on the main melody bus. This was to help brighten up the sample, help it sound more clearer. What I did was I went to load. I loaded up a strings preset, strings B preset. Then I adjusted the graph to taste. This is a very powerful and complex plugin, so I would say take your time to learn what it can do, because it can do some very good things. And I also used it on the vocal bus, on the ad-libs and the hooks, not the lead vocal though, because I think it wasn't needed. I went and loaded the Ken Pooch preset, vocal preset, and pretty much just stuck with that, adjusted slightly with what I needed, but not too much. And same thing with the hook, it was a Ken Pooch preset. Okay, now we're going to the effects portion. I'll play the non-affected version. I'm going to be using the actual audio instead of using the whack microphone, so hear that. Alright, now you heard that. Now I'm going to show you what I did as far as effects. I set up 5 effect sends, I'm sorry. A reverb for the vocals, a delay for the vocals, well, the delay for whatever I want to use it for, a chorus, a reverb 1 and a reverb 2, that's for the melodies and the instruments. So for the vocal reverb, I used UAD EMT 140. I use preset plate of beef, and I mess with the depth. It's about halfway in between 0 and 5. Then I go as far as the delay. I use Sonar delay, Sonatus effects. What I do is I use the preset I use the preset short rhythmic delay, put in my BPM, which is 88 for this one, turn it off, and then switch the factor to 1/2. And then I got this from Pensado's place. I put the Waves S1 Imager on it. I put the Waves 1 S1 imager and I just increased the width to make it wider. And for the chorus, I'm using the PSP N20, and I use the preset Ultra Chorus. And for the other two reverbs, I use the UAD Dream Verb, and I use the preset Guitar Bright Ambience and Reverb 2 Room Large Dark Room. Alright, and for the vocals, I put on a reverb, a delay, and a chorus, and add to taste. On the instrument buses, I just add a chorus, and on the individual instruments, I'll add some reverb maybe or a delay if I want to. On the sample, I added some delay and reverb, and on the bass sample, I just added chorus. On the snare, I added some reverb, and on the hi-hat, I added some reverb. So now you can hear the affected version. The day commenced through the wall, cat shot, craft the rhymes, intensive run the back with retro tunes while I'm getting ready to step. Optimism is born with Macio's horn blaring, bearing black man's expression. As you can see, it's a very subtle difference, but it helps, I guess, get some space and a little bit of more clarity. Speech related to the sheet misled by the seat, then it's off the RCC.